Today I want to tell you the story of a young boy called Gilbert. He was about 8 years old and he'd not been in the Scouts for very long when he got sent home with a project. It was a sheet of paper and a block of wood and 4 tyres, and he was told to go home and make a go-kart. Gilbert's dad wasn't around very much, and the block of wood remained untouched as the weeks went past, and finally his mum said, "Right, let's see what we can do with this." So the project began. Neither of them had any carpentry skills, so she decided it would probably be best if she just read the instructions and let Gilbert do the work. So he did. She read aloud the measurements and the rules, what could and couldn't be done, and within days his block of wood was starting to look a little bit more like a cart. A little lopsided maybe, but actually not too bad. Gilbert hadn't seen what any of the other children had done, and he was feeling pretty proud of his Blue Lightning car. The pride of knowing that something has been done, that you've done it on your own, that you've tried something new. And then the big night came. With his blue go-kart in his hand and feeling really proud of it, they headed off to the big race. Once they got there, it became clear that Gilbert's car was the only car made on his own. All the other cars had had some experienced help. They had cool paint jobs and sleek body styles ready for speed. A few of the boys even giggled as they looked at Gilbert's lopsided, wobbly, frankly unattractive vehicle. And to add to the humility, Gilbert was the only boy without a man by his side. Other boys perhaps had an uncle or a grandparent. Gilbert had Mum. As the race began, it was done in elimination fashion. You kept racing as long as you were the winner. And one by one the cars raced down the finely sanded ramp. Finally, it was down to the last 2 cars. Gilbert's Blue Lightning and the sleekest, fastest looking car there. As the last race was about to begin, this wide-eyed, shy 8-year-old moved off to the side, clasped his hands and shut his eyes for a few minutes, and it was obvious that he was praying. And then he stood with a smile on his face and announced, "Okay, I'm ready." As the crowd cheered, a boy named Tommy stood with his dad at his side as their car sped down the ramp. And Gilbert watched as his block of wood started to wobble slightly, and then with surprising speed rushed over the finish line and finished a fraction of a second before Tommy's car. Gilbert leapt into the air with a loud "Thank you" as the crowd roared in approval. The Scoutmaster came up to Gilbert with his microphone in his hand and he said, "So you prayed to win then, Gilbert?" To which the young boy answered, "Oh no, that wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't be fair to ask God to help you to beat someone else. I just asked him to help me not to cry when I lost." Children seem to have a wisdom far beyond us. Gilbert didn't ask God to win the race. He didn't ask God to fix the outcome. Gilbert asked God to give him strength in the outcome. When Gilbert first saw the other cars, he didn't cry out to God, "That's not fair, they had help." No, he went to Heavenly Father for strength. Perhaps we spend too much of our prayer time asking God to wreck the race, make us number one, asking God to remove us from the struggle or the struggle from us, when perhaps we should be seeking God's strength to see us through the struggle. When we find the current situation challenging, when we are impatient to get back to the things that we did before, when we think that things are not opening up fast enough, or perhaps when we think things are opening too fast for us, we can turn to God, who is there, as today's hymn reminds us, to cheer and to guide, to bring us strength for today and bright hope for tomorrow, and blesses us all abundantly. Let's sing hymn 153, Great is Thy Faithfulness.